you'll be dead to me.
What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again. Can you believe it? It's been a long time since you've had a video with just me, and I get it. Look, John will be watching this. He'll be watching this, distraught that I'm on my own in this one. He'll feel that, you know, I want him out the channel and I'm not interested in him. But you couldn't be any correct if any more correct if you tried, because he can. Fuck, no, I'm joking. No, John's not free to do this video, to be fair to him. He's had a busy weekend. He's been busy. I've been the same. I've been away. But I appreciate the fact that I haven't given you a video the whole of last week. So I understand that you'll miss me. As you can see, I've put a new intro in. Whole thing with One Football, I think I'm going to can it. So you probably won't see One Football anymore. They were a pleasure to work with. I've got no negative comments against One Football, but let's get back to what this channel was about, and that was about you. You know, this channel was about you guys and about being able to sit here and give my thoughts about what was going on. And John's incredibly important to that, but equally, you know, you guys subscribe to me and we need to remember that. So scrap all of that shit. There's a lot less adverts now. We've just gone back to basics. And look, I want to try and hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I'd be really grateful if you could share this with all of your friends, your family and whatever. And even if you just press the button, subscribe, just press it for me. That's all I ask. Just press it. I don't care if you never watch another video, just press it, because it'd be really grateful and it would open up some more doors for the channel, like live chats and whatever, as soon as I get to 5,000 subscribers. So I'd be very, very grateful. This video is about Carlo Ancelotti, talking about how well he has done, and actually not just Carlo Ancelotti, but how well Everton have done in the last few weeks, last 12 weeks or whenever it was. So let's take it back. Everton lose 5-2 to Liverpool in a game that, quite frankly, Marco Silva was on his arse. He looked like a broken man. The Everton team played like a broken team, and although we scored 2 goals at Anfield that night, which you know, a lot of people masked over that by the fact we defended so bad, and we did. I mean, the Mane goal, which was an 80-yard fucking ball over the top, was an embarrassment. But if you look how far we've come from that, going into the game in a couple of weeks on a Monday night against a Liverpool side that probably will win the title, you know, there's no getting around it. We are miles ahead of where we were. Miles ahead. And, you know, we are 4 points now off 5th. 6 points off the Champions League, I think it is. It just looks like we're having a great season. All of a sudden, I think Man City are going to appeal this 2-year ban or whatever. But, you know, there could be the opportunity for 5th place to get a Champions League spot. Now, currently, we're in the mix with Wolves, Man United, Sheffield United, Leicester, Chelsea, Tottenham. There's a lot of decent teams in that mix. But if you look at our record's fantastic. So, over the last 7 games, only Liverpool have got more points. Out of the last 12 games, we've only lost once. And that was to Man City, away. In that time, we've played Manchester United, we've played Arsenal. We've played some decent teams in that period of time. Now, don't get me wrong, a few of you will be a little bit dejected by certain results. You know, we played really poorly against West Ham away. We played really bad against Newcastle at home in the last 10 seconds of the fucking game. But there was a lot of positive signs in both of those games at moments. So if we go back to what Carlo Ancelotti's done, so first and foremost, Carlo Ancelotti's give this team structure. Now, he isn't the first one to have done this. And I'm also going to give this man massive credit, and that's Duncan Ferguson. Duncan Ferguson came into this team and essentially went, right, I'm sticking 2 up front, I'm making us difficult to beat. And all of a sudden, following that game, we had some passion, we had some fight. We played against a Chelsea side that were a good side at the time. They'd had a bit of a poor one, but we smashed them 3-1. And at no point did I think we were going to lose that game. You know, all of a sudden, Dominic Calvert-Lewin scoring 2 goals when everyone wrote him off, including me, including John, including any toffee I know, pretty much. Wrote him off. I was done with him. And seeing the increase in from the difference between that Chelsea performance and just gradually how we just seem more difficult to beat. He seems to be doing a pretty German model, which is just efficient. We're not the prettiest. We don't play the quickest brand of football. We pass the ball a lot. But what we do is there seems to be a purpose with everything we do. We don't just knock it round the back for the sake of it like we did under Marco Silva. And Duncan Ferguson was integral to that. And I still feel he is. So I'm going to sit here and praise Duncan for everything he has done in this side, because he has done a phenomenal job being part of Carlo Ancelotti's team as well. And Carlo Ancelotti himself comes out and says Duncan's massively important to this going forward. And I'm really proud of that, because a lot of people had said about Duncan, what's he done? He's never really had a shot. We've had 4 managers in the time that he's been on the bench. You know, what does he add? What coaching is he doing? Well, clearly he's a fantastic coach. Clearly he's got the respect of the players, and clearly he knows what he's doing. So that's a great basis for Carlo Ancelotti to walk in. He sees the passion. He walks in. He sits down. He hears the crowd. He hears the roar. And the first things he comes out and goes, whoa. Because he knew, actually, let me do a better impression. He goes, whoa. But being straight up, it's a massive difference. It's a massive change. The ethos of the club, the determination of the club, and everything is changing from this man. And it's because he knows what he's doing. There's no piss-arsing about with Carlo Ancelotti. I've got every faith and trust, and I accept his decisions. You know, when Marco Silva used to make a substitution and I disagreed with it, I used to say, shit days. Absolute shit. What are you doing that for? Blah, 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 blah. He did it against Norwich. I'll never forget. He brings on Coleman. We're 1-0 down to Norwich and he brings on Coleman. It was pathetic. But I remember that because it stood out in my mind. Carlo Ancelotti, the other week, changed the team completely almost. He brought on like Sidibe and a few other players that I thought, well, that's not going to work. We managed to win the game. So he changes the game ways that I just never saw possible. The only time he's got it wrong, in my opinion, was the Newcastle game. And that's fine. Again, this man is a gazillion times better than what we've ever had. And equally, he just knows. He just knows how to do it. And if you take that mentality and you look at the players that have improved under him, I mean, let's go through the team very quickly. Who's improved? Jordan Pickford? No. Luca Dean? Yes, you could probably argue he has. Mason Holgate? Certainly. But equally, Ferguson was instrumental to that as well. Yuri Mina? Definitely. Sidibe? Coleman? I'd say both are playing better now. Going to midfield, Morgan Schneiderlin, 100%. I would probably go as far as saying he's one of the most improved under Ancelotti, because he's been dominating the ball. He's been trying to pass the ball forward. He's been thinking quickly. So all of a sudden, we're seeing a different Morgan Schneiderlin. And a lot of people on Twitter would come out and go, do you know what? I'd rather sell Tom Davis in front of Schneiderlin. And I never, ever thought I would read anything like that. Jury's still out on that for me. But I've got no problem Morgan Schneiderlin playing in the blue shirt anymore. And before, I wanted him out the club. So credit to him. I also think on the wing, I think Theo Walcott, all of a sudden, he's trying to beat his man and deliver the ball. He's not piss-arsing about. He's not going backwards and forwards. He's not passing the ball back. All of a sudden, he's trying to get the ball into the box, into the danger area. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin has certainly improved. Richarlison has stepped up. He's become a man, almost. Then you've got Bernard, who has always been a good player, but if you utilise him in the right way, he's significantly improved his effectiveness under Ancelotti. So all of a sudden, this Everton side, look, right, we're not small little Everton anymore. You know, we've really stepped up under Ancelotti, and it's blatantly obvious. We go into every single game now, and I don't really worry. Look, we're going to lose games. We are going to lose games. We haven't got the best defence in the world, and we haven't got the best front line in the world. So we're going to concede, and we won't score as many. Fine. But I trust that we will do better than the majority of the teams in the league. And if that, as day one, as a starting block, that's positive. That's brilliant, that is. So, where are we going? Well, in my opinion, he's going to want to strengthen the back. I think that could be in terms of maybe, I think he said about bringing in a top goalkeeping coach. Pickford certainly needs it. He needs someone who's going to be honest, keep his shoulders on the fucking ground and get him to just calm down at times. Then in defence, he probably does want to bring in another centre-back. I don't think he trusts Michael Keane massively. I don't really blame him. But all of a sudden, we're looking a little bit more solid at the back. Then you go into midfield. I think he'll want a centre midfielder. He'll certainly want a ball-carrying centre midfielder. Somebody like Allen, someone like Decore, someone who is capable of picking the ball up on our sort of 25-yard mark and burst 30, 40 yards. Great, brilliant, and I agree, that's exactly what we've needed, and we've needed it for a long time. And I think he's going to start trying to get the best out of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Moise Keane, and all of a sudden our front two, plus Richarlison, who is sort of a utility player, we look really dangerous. We look really, really dangerous. And he's putting all these pieces together and making some beautiful fucking jigsaw. Like some stunning jigsaw that makes me think, do you know what? Why can't we aim for Champions League football this season? We certainly can hit Europa League. There's no doubt in my mind we can hit Europa League. We've got some really key, important games coming up. And they're away to Arsenal, who Arteta looks like he might have started to get a tune out of. Away at Chelsea. We need to not be losing them games. Ideally, we need to at least win one of them and draw the other one. You know, away at Wolves, that'll be a tough game. Away at Sheffield United, another tough game. We need to get results against those. We've got a home game against Man United, and to be brutally honest, we're favourites for it. They're struggling to score goals. We need to go into that game and we need to dismantle them like we did last season. You know, there's no reason we can't beat Man United 2-3, 4-0. There is really no reason. So we need to keep that efficiency and that strength going. But it's looking really, really positive. The only game that I think we could struggle in is the games that you expect us to win. You know, because, you know, we drew with Newcastle. We drew with West Ham away. We lost to Norwich. I mean, losing to Norwich at home, fuck me. You know, losing to Villa away. Losing to Sheffield United at home. You know, don't get me wrong, Sheffield United have had a great season. But these are teams that Everton should be beating this season. And we have done it a few times. Let these results kind of hurt us a little bit. So it's really important, in my opinion, that Everton sort that side out. Because we know we'll get up for a big game. The fans will get up for a big game. You know, we will be there. I've criticised, actually, at times, the Gladys Street. And, you know, I'm not saying it to be negative to anyone who sits there, but I just would love to hear a bit more noise. And I understand, and I get that, you know, the players have to be good on the pitch and that generates noise and you'll get on their side and whatever. And I get that. But I would just love it if we managed to create a Merseyside derby atmosphere for all of the other 18 home games in the league. I just love it. I love it. I try to sing my heart out wherever I'm sitting. I mean, to be honest, against who did we beat 3-1 the other week? Fucking hell, I can't remember. Me and Finley were sitting in the crowd. I was screaming, I was going, you know, singing songs and whatever. And Finley started joining in, to be fair to him, you know. So we are getting back to where we should be. And I'm seeing really positive signs. And on top of that, I also wanted to mention the Sportpesa thing. So obviously Everton have said, right, no more Sportpesa. And I said this to John. I said to John that for Everton to go and spend 100 million quid or 150 million pound, they need more money. They need more money from somewhere. I think it's blatantly obvious who's going to sponsor us. I think it'll be Megafon, it'll be USM, it'll be a bumper contract, a 3-year deal, which will pay us probably in the region of 200 million or 150 million or something mega, right? And the reason for that is they can get around it. Usmanov has fuck all to do with Everton Football Club. If he sponsors the club, it's fine. It's not the same as Man City. It's not the same as Man City because fundamentally the people at the top of Man City are top of both companies that are sponsoring each other, which is Etihad and Manchester City. That's not the case with Usmanov. He's not invested in Everton. He's a friend, but he's no financial connection whatsoever. So in terms of financial fair play, it solves a lot of problems. On top of that, I'm pretty sure the shirt sponsors up as well. So there's another opportunity for a different revenue stream. So, you know, it's great. It is really, really positive. I think kids' shirt sales will probably go up a little bit just because, you know, I hate seeing kids' shirts without a sponsor on. You know, there's been some dodgy ones made, you know, that have got the Sportpesa logo on for kids. You know, you can get them off that DH gate or whatever. But you know, I love to see a proper, genuine Megaphone shirt or a USM shirt. There's been some great designs on Twitter. So all of a sudden, our revenue stream looks like it's going to significantly improve. And on top of that, Everton need to finish in the league as high as physically possible. That's a fact. That is sort of end of story. Because the higher we finish, the more money we get, the more TV revenue we can get for next season is all going to help. We can offset a little bit of the money that we've spent so far and the things in the budget and the terms of the revenue and the £105 million towards financial fair play. We can offset some of that with the stadium. Great, fine. But we need to just get our finances in order. We need a decent clear out in the summer. You know, and some of these players are going to come off the wage bill. We can only hope that someone like Balassi leaves. He's burnt his bridges with Everton. He's criticised the fans. He's criticised people on Twitter. He can fuck right off. So he doesn't want to... I don't want him, and he probably doesn't want to be at Everton. So it's in both our interests to come to a compromise that he fucks off. Even if it's a free transfer, get his 80 grand a week off the book. Brilliant. Cenk Tosun, look... He is a decent player on his day. A decent player. But he's not a top 4, top 6 player that Everton want to get to. So get him off the book. I was hoping he'd be better at Palace because I know he's been injured. But that's an opportunity for Everton to get a little bit more money in. Even if it's 15, 20 million. 15 million would be great. I'd take that in a heartbeat. You know, Gylfi Sigurdsson, that's another one. I'd be more than happy for him to leave. Cuco Martinez' contract's up. Umar Nias's contract's up. I mean, he's a mercenary. He's proved he's a mercenary because he won't fucking leave. You know, he won't fuck off. So all of a sudden, we're looking like we're going to be in a much better position next summer. And Ancelotti knows that. Ancelotti gets that and understands that. So look, I think everything is massively positive for Everton going forward. I think everything is positive for numerous reasons. But we've got more revenue. We're going to finish the season strongly, touch wood. We've got Carlo Ancelotti as our fucking manager. And, you know, I prayed for this 2 years ago. Prayed for it. We didn't bother making an attempt. Now he's here. Now he appears to be delivering. And with the passion and dedication behind him of Duncan Ferguson. And he has fell in love with this city. He has fell in love with Liverpool.